What's up, homie G's and phonies? This is Crazy Pretzel here, coming to you live here. It's January 11th, 2021. Here with, to quote the Wrestling Jesus, here with your late, out-of-date AEW Dynamite review. Well, I can't do the review part as good as WJ can, but yeah, I appreciate him. I'm still the 2018 Open Invitational Bowling Champ. That's right, still got my trophy. On the show, we're gonna. I've never actually tried this grape juice before. It's Best Choice 100% juice from like. What did I get this from? I think I got this at Strachan Van Til's or something. So it's supposedly the best choice, huh? So we're gonna see if this really is the best choice or not for grape juice. So we're gonna pour us a glass here. I kind of wish I had a little ice to go with this, but I had to put some fresh ice in or put some trays in the freezer to freeze them up for a while. So, yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if this is exactly the best choice. This actually says it's a grape-flavored blend of 3 juices. So, what are the 3 juices in here? Apple juice concentrate, grape juice concentrate, and pear juice concentrate. So it's grape juice with 2 other juices mixed in it, apparently. Why am I drinking this? Well, it's got vitamin C in it. 80% of your DV value. You gotta abbreviate stuff because abbreviating is cool nowadays. Daily value, and it's got a little bit of potassium. 260 milligrams worth. 8% of your DV. So, why did I buy this? Why am I drinking this? Well, I tested positive for COVID let's see, it was New Year's Eve, it was the 31st. So, yeah, tested positive, and what have I been doing to alleviate the time? I've been at work taking care of COVID positive patients. So, yeah, I'm positive, they're positive, yet we're all just, one big COVID positive family. And as you can see, I'm still alive, so I'm super strong, and COVID really ain't that big of a deal. So, because you know why? Because the media acts like it's really that big of a deal, but you gotta take into consideration that the people that probably die from it, a lot of them have like pre-existing conditions and whatnot. So like the COVID probably like exacerbates that stuff, and that's what kills them. It's not just the big disease itself, it's the other pre-existing conditions. Now I get it, not everybody, that happens to everybody, it sucks that a lot of people have died from it and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make this a anti-political video or nothing, but what I am going to say is that Crazy Pretzel has survived COVID. So, if you want my antibodies so you can survive COVID, pay me some money. Let's talk cash. So, a little extra cash and a little extra time off work would be nice. So, alright, now that I chased away everybody in this video, apparently I have to review some wrestling. So we gotta review AEW Dynamite from January 6th. Dear God, this show was a piece of shit. I mean, this show was bad. Wrestling is so bad. Like, I would say, like, wrestling, like, 2000s, and I think I'm more talking WWE, mind you. It was bad in 2016, 2017, 2018. I mean, yeah, it was bad, but there was some good stuff going on, like, in pro wrestling in those years that I can kind of remember. I enjoyed watching, Alexa Bliss doing her heel stuff and whatnot. She had a great character going until WWE decided that she can't get, she's over, so don't let it be a star. Carmella had some good stuff going. But, the Smarks don't like her or whatnot. They killed her character, again, because, she could be a big star or whatnot. Braun Strowman had something going in the beginning with Roman Reigns, like feuding with him and whatnot. But they decided to kill his push and whatnot. Now he doesn't mean jack all because, again, a guy getting over. Yeah. So, not that Braun Strowman's like the greatest talent in the world, but hey, when he first came around and was feuding with Reigns, they were having good matches. And Strowman could have looked like something, but then they turned him into a goof, so that way he can't get over. So, yeah. But, I mean, this show, though, 2021, though, I don't know who the fuck the stars are on this show. And, like, actually, like, I can say that they're stars, but The ratings on this show this week, or from last week, 662,000. When Sting made his debut, like a few weeks back, they had like 900-something thousand. People were interested to see that and whatnot. They've seen like Sting be on the show, and they've seen a couple episodes of this show since then. Ratings have gone downhill. And why is that? Because the show fucking sucks. Like, I don't even really want to talk about it, but why not? I'm going to. Plus, like, I'm gonna have to show a few cool things in the video to make it exciting. Not from wrestling, you know. You can't make any of this stuff exciting, but like, I don't know. But we've got the Babe of the Week. We've got a Song of the Week, which I'm hopefully. I recorded it on a video instead of just trying to like download a video and link it, because apparently, you know, when this gets posted on YouTube, they don't like that. It's copyrighted and stuff. Even though I'm not trying to make any money off of it whatsoever, I'm just simply praising a band. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I'm praising the band, and if you guys like it, I'm actually bringing viewers to the band, which might make them some money. You know what I'm saying? So, there's also I've got a show of the week as well. So, but we'll get to that. At some point, some of the mental retardedness of the show will trigger stuff. So, all right, let's go into this. So, our first opening match on the New Year's Smash episode of AEW Dynamite, Part 1. Next week is Part 2. It's the Young Bucks and SCU versus the Acclaimed and the Hybrid 2. SCU, they aren't allowed to get an entrance this week on the show. Acclaimed and Hybrid 2 come out, and the Acclaimed are doing some rap, and they're cutting a rap that involves saying John Cena a couple of times in it. So that was super edgy, and I mean, that rap alone, it just makes this worth 5 stars off the bat. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, Acclaimed, John Cena did this gimmick 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Actually, let's see how many, 17, 18 years ago. Yeah, and he did it better. So, yeah, you might want to find something else to do. Plus, your theme song still sucks. The Acclaim, the Acclaim, the Acclaim, the Acclaim. And then after like 30 seconds of them like talking minorly on it, then it's just the same beat forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So, yeah, we saw that we listened to that a couple weeks back on one of my reviews, but yeah, their song still sucks. So, this match, basically it was a 4-on-4 tag team match. I wrote down some notes on it. I'm not doing like every single analyzing of play-by-play, but this match overall went about 13 minutes. I gave it a 1 out of 4 points. Took a quarter point off in the beginning for referee retardation. Because basically, the first few minutes of the ring, like, there's a lot of dives going on, and tags not being made and stuff. Lots of stuff that the ref is not exercising any of his, control and rules over and whatnot. Like, everybody's doing shit in the ring and whatnot. And Helico's got a submission move going on Daniels. And then all 3 guys from the heels come into the ring at one point to keep the good guys out. The referee does nothing to get those guys out of the ring. Just lets them be in there. Yeah. So again, quarter point off for referee retardation. So that's like the beginning of this match. There's some dives, and then there's a submission move from Angelico. Match goes on. Daniels hits a Blue Thunder Bomb. He tags in Kazarian, who starts cleaning house. So he tags him in for the hot tag, and then Kazarian gets kicked in the face by Jack Evans. Match goes on. Kazarian then tags in Matt Jackson. And then here's where the match gets cringy and not believable. So, because like Matt Jackson does a double Northern Light suplex. So he lifts 2 guys, this skinny dude right here, with like no muscle. I mean, yeah, he's in good shape. He's an athlete. I give him that. But he's got like no like muscle, no like physical strength whatsoever. And he's like lifting up 2 dudes with a double Northern Light suplex. So he does that to Jack Evans and Max Caster of Acclaimed. Then we got a somersault dive, and then we got another dive, and then we got Jackson does he does a somersault dive out of the ring to somebody. Then he runs like from the ramp and dives on somebody. Then he spears somebody on the outside, and then he like does a double cross body on somebody. So yeah, while that's going on with Matt Jackson, he does all that stuff, to be a superhero. Nick Jackson doesn't tag himself into the ring, so both the Bucks can hit their risky business, which is apparently a splash and from someone from the top rope, and then a little backflip moonsault to the guy's legs for whatever reason. So yeah, so the ref does nothing about the hold no tag thing and whatnot. Kazarian and Nick Jackson, who are not tag team partners by any means, over the years or anything like that. No, this is like the first time they're teaming together on this show. They do the Young Bucks finisher, the BTE, but it gets broken up for 2 by somebody. Then we've got a bunch of the Bucks doing super kicks to people. Jack Evans hits a 360, some kind of spinning, flippy splash. One of the Bucks gets his knees up, and then they DDT and super kick Jack Evans in the face for a 2 count. Then Evans no-sells that and with a backslide on somebody for a 2 count. So we got to take another quarter point off for no-selling. The finish of the match, Christopher Daniels and Matt Jackson, again, 2 dudes that don't team up routinely. They do the Young Bucks finisher of the Meltzer driver for a 3 count. By the way, I think BTE stands for being the elite. But why is the double knee called being the elite? That's a terrible name, but still. Yeah, I finally figured it out. I never looked it up. I just realized that that's what that BTE stands for. So yeah, this was a terrible match. Went 13 minutes. For some reason, Kazarian gets on the mic after the match and says that if him and Daniels lose a tag team match, like the next tag team match they lose, they're going to split up and be done. Why? Like, okay, they lost like to the Acclaimed or something, and so they're going to just break up as a team because they've lost like 1 time or something. Yeah. Okay. These guys were only like, the first tag team champions on the show and whatnot when this show started, but yeah. Nobody cares about this storyline. Also, too, if they even do split them up, what the fuck are they going to do with them? You know what I'm saying? Christopher Daniels is boring. Like, decent in the ring. And I kind of like Daniels a little bit, but, like, to be honest, though, he's not, like, very exciting. Like, he comes out with a microphone and doesn't even, like, rap or sing or something. And when his theme music plays, he just occasionally says a word of his theme song on it or something. That's not a gimmick. That's not a personality, a character. Kazarian, same thing. He comes out and wrestles. He's a good wrestler, but what's his character? You know what I'm saying? And then same thing, too, with Scorpio Sky, SCU. Like, what's their character? So what's the point of splitting them up in the first place? They don't even have a character as it is. Are they going to just find a new character or something? No, that's not going to happen. So, all right, next on the show, we've got a Jon Moxley promo. This was actually a good promo for Moxley. I don't even remember what he really talked about, but he was intense. He talked about wanting to kill Kenny Omega. He wishes Rey Fenix luck in his world title match tonight against Kenny Omega, and something more about wanting to kill Omega. So I gave this promo 3 out of 4. It was a decent promo. Next we've got Dasha backstage with Chucky and Orange Cassidy. Chuck Taylor, I'm going to call him Chucky because why not? Because I just want to chuck his ass out of the building. But yeah, it's kind of sad that between Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, or Trent, I might get sued for calling him Beretta, but between those 2 guys, how Trent's like in shape and he's like definitely more of the athlete and he's the one that gets injured. Yeah. So they give us a little update. They say that Trent's going to be out 4 to 5 months. Then Miro, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford show up to interrupt them. Chucky challenges him to a match next week or something. Miro, before that, Miro invites him to be his best friend and whatnot. And like the Sabian and Penelope are kind of look at him kind of funny, and then he says something how like Chuck Taylor can have the honor of cleaning his house and cooking for him and all that good stuff and whatnot. So then Chucky challenges him to a match, and then Miro says, "Let's make it interesting. Let's raise the stakes, and if you." He's like, if you lose, then you're going to become my young boy, which apparently a young boy in Japan or something means like protege or student or something. Like, so, you know, big scary terminology there. Like, if Chucky loses, he'll be Miro's young boy next week. This promo was alright. Little bonus point for Dasha. I gave it a 3 out of 5. So, I guess it's nice to have something of somewhat of a storyline going on, but yeah, the best friends, Miro, Sabian storyline has been going on for a while. I didn't care when it started because it was over a stupid video game, and I still don't care about it. So, plus Chuck Taylor, no charisma on the mic whatsoever. Alright, next match we got was the only match on the show I enjoyed. It was Jake Hager versus Wardlow. Let's see. We'll do this match and then we'll do something. Yeah. So, Jake Hager versus Wardlow. Wardlow cuts a nice little promo before it with Alex Marvez, the king of fungal charisma. He really didn't even say much. I think he just said something about it's time to go to war or something like that because, you know, Wardlow. You know, kind of a nice little throwback or whatever. It sounded a bit like a 80s, early 90s kind of promo. I kind of liked it. I don't know. Well, this was the only match on the show I liked. It was two big guys going at it. The reason for this match was because Jake Hager and Wardlow apparently thought that one of them was saying something to the other one or something, staring at them, so they had this match. Even though a week or two ago, Jericho said that the Inner Circle was united and they wouldn't fight each other and whatnot, but we got this match. So, roll the dice. I rolled a 9. A 9 would probably not be a good number in Dungeons and Dragons. So, anyway, this match was alright. Like I said, it wasn't like an Action Jackson packed match or anything like that, and it was kind of clunky at times, but there was some selling in this match for most of it. I did take a quarter off for selling though, because there was one spot toward the end of it where Wardlow does like a really nice Jeff Hardy senton bomb. He's like a big, strong, muscular dude, but he's like, does a really nice senton bomb. Does that on Hager. 1, 2, Hager no-sells it and just puts him like in a chokehold. Like a head-arm choke or something from the ground, and then Wardlow gets to the ropes. So he completely no-sells this amazing senton bomb for that. You know, this guy's been in the wrestling business for 10 years, and like, he's gonna no-sell I know the Swanton Bomb isn't his finisher, but it's a big fucking impactful move, and he's gonna no-sell that shit? Yeah. Someone needs to teach Hager how to sell, apparently. So, match goes on a little bit. Wardlow wins clean with F10 or something. He just he lifts Hager up and kind of whips him around, and Hager just goes kind of up in the air on his back, lands on his back. So went about 10 minutes. I gave it 3 out of 4. You're gonna watch anything on this show, check this match out. It was all right. It wasn't like an epic match or anything, but I mean, compared to some of the other shit on this show, this had some selling in it. Except for that one spot, but it was all right. Gave it a 3 out of 4. Alrighty, so let's take a little break from here. Our song of the week goes to Typo Negative, classic 1993 song called Christian Woman. I'm not going to play the entire song, just going to play a couple of minutes, but check it out. Enjoy. Alrighty. So the next segment we have on this show is private party backstage with Snoop Dogg, and they're excited to see him, and they want to have some kind of mixed drink or something, but then they don't have any juice or something. One of them has the gin, but the other one forgot the juice or something like that. A little knock on the Snoop Dogg song Gin and Juice. It's the only song I know from Snoop Dogg, but it's a good song. Good classic old school song or whatever. So Snoop Dogg just gives them some cranberry grape juice or something, and then Matt Hardy shows up and interrupts them, and he has 2 contracts for them to sign or something like that. Apparently and he says that they have to pay him 30% of what they would earn or something like that. And, they say, oh, we trust you, man, and they sign it and whatnot. So apparently Matt Hardy's new character or whatever apparently is going to be a used car salesman or something. how the guy is like, yeah, trust me, man, trust me. Buy the car and you'll be in good shape and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's pretty much Matt Hardy's new character as a used car salesman. Guy's been in the business this long and he still can't find himself. So, like I said, he had something going with broken Matt Hardy, but he's the one decided to screw it up. So, yeah. Snoop Dogg like I said, he gave him some cranberry grape juice. Hardy and Snoop didn't really interact. I didn't really get this. I gave this a half a point for a grade or whatnot. Then next on the show, we've got Brian Cage with Darby Allin for a weigh-in. I wrote down why on here. They're going to have a TNT title championship match next week on the show, which I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of excited to watch that. I'm like, it's going to be a fine match or whatnot. But why the hell are they doing a weigh-in on the show? It's like where they do, like, contract signing segments for, like, world title matches or something. Nobody wants to watch that shit. It's like, you want to see them, like, you know, interact with each other, or one of them come out and cut a promo on the other guy or something, and then you have, like, pull-apart brawls. You want them to see them, like, try to go at each other to bring a little bit of excitement or whatnot. Or you want to see them, like, kind of, like, scheme and, like, have someone do, like, their dirty work for them to try to soften, like the bad guy tries to soften up the good guy or whatnot. Like, you want to see stuff like that. You don't want to see, hey, here's the weigh-in for that match. Nobody fucking cares. But anywho. So Taz was alright. He cuts a promo and whatnot. He was alright. He ripped on Shivani at the beginning of this or something for whatever reason, but then he, like, he apologized and was like, no, go ahead, Tony, go ahead. So, like, Darby weighs himself. He gets weighed. Shivani's like adjusting the scale or whatnot. He weighs like 170 pounds. Taz jokes how he's got like chains on and stuff to make him weigh more. And then Cage weighs himself and he's 272 pounds. Yay. And then Darby actually says something decent like on the mic. But then it's a little bit stupid afterwards because he says like, he's like, so this is the part where we fight, right? Or something. He says that. Like, his first line he said that was cool was he says that how this match is 27 years in the making because he's been picked on his whole life and whatnot. You know, being a smaller guy by the bigger guys or something. So, I mean, like, that part was alright, but then he's gonna say, like, you know, I know where this is going. This is where we fight or whatever, right? You know, just spoiling what's gonna happen and whatnot. I mean, that's how every single contract signing segment goes anyways. But still, for a wrestler to, like, state the obvious what's going to happen on a show, you know, that's like breaking the fourth wall. Now, in old school cartoons, breaking the fourth wall is fine. But when you're, like, doing something where you're supposed to somewhat be serious or something, like, say if you're watching a drama on TV and then, like, they look at the camera and the guy just specifically says, you know, like, this is what's going to happen, like, right now in this next scene, you're going to be like, why the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this was. So then, Team Taz is going to beat up Darby, and then Sting comes out again, and doesn't even get in the ring, and Taz's guys leave the ring again. So another epic week of Sting coming out with a baseball bat, 61-year-old guy, with 4 or 5 young guys running away from him, and running away from him and a smaller, runchy guy with a skateboard. Yeah, the epic drama on this. And then Taz starts yelling at Darby how this shit's gotta stop, and the way he's yelling at him, it sounds like he's gonna cry. I did not really understand that, and like I said, you got guys running away from a guy who hasn't even gotten in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I could see if it was like Brock Lesnar was coming out, or The Undertaker was coming out, like, and I'm not talking about Undertaker now, but maybe like in his prime or something, when he's younger coming out. You know, yeah, that might be a bit intimidating, but 61-year-old guy with a baseball bat, like, Cage could just grab the bat from him, no problem, and, like, just chuck it away, and then what's he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. So, alright, here's my television show of the week or whatever, or a little tribute to it, but you'll watch this, you'll laugh, and you'll honestly, this is like, to me, this is the mentality of AEW. Like, this clip you're gonna see, like, this is hypothetically why I watch AEW, because I like to watch it to make fun of it. Kind of like how these guys are, like, ripping on this, like, little cheesy movie. But, yeah, check it out. Mystery Science Theater 3000, Prince of Space. That's what this is from. Yeah, I mean that's how the show is to me. It's like I watch it. I don't even have to like do much to rip on this show and tear it apart because it's just so bad. Like this show for wrestling is Mystery Science Theater 3000, like movie bad. You know what I'm saying? Like those cheesy movies from back in the day and stuff. That's like AEW. Seriously. All right. Next on the show, we got a backstage promo of MJF checking on Jake Hager. Says that he should be proud of himself for how well he did against Wardlow, even in defeat or something. And he tries to motivate him and says that he's undefeated in the Octagon and whatnot. I like this. I gave it a full point. Didn't really have anything wrong with it. Next we've got, they show a clip on AEW Dark of Marco Stunt and Brody Lee's kid. They call him -1 for some reason. But Brody Lee Kid says to he says to Marco Stunt, he's like, "You always win because you got a bigger person with you," and that was pretty fucking funny. Because like Marco Stunt's like this like 2-foot little like dwarf cockroach or whatever, and Brody Lee's kid is like just as tall as him, maybe even taller or something, and he says that he only wins because he's got a bigger person with him. Full 1 point. It was great. Next we got Lucha Express backstage with Alex Marvez, the king of fungus charisma. Marco Stunt tries to like hype himself up or something, and FTR interrupt him, and then he calls Marco Stunt. They call him like that he's just a mascot and that he does nothing for the team and whatnot. So Stunt says he's going to take Luchasaurus's place in their tag team match. So next week it's going to be Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy versus FTR. Remember when FTR wanted to come to AEW for to be serious, taken serious, and be like epic tag team or whatnot? Yeah, they're going to wrestle Marco Stunt. Let's find that sad, funny. Yeah, half a point for this. I don't know. I don't know. I gave it a half a point. Marco Stunt needs to get the fuck off TV. Marco Stunt, Sonny Kiss, Nyla Rose. 3 characters that would get off TV and ratings would go up a little bit in this company. All right, next we had Matt Sydal versus Cody Rhodes with Snoop Dogg. That's what I wanted to get out. See, I'm saying Cody Rhodes and I'm lisping. So Cody Rhodes wrestles Matt Sydal for 12 minutes. Basically, I don't remember the first 6 minutes of this match because I think I fell asleep like when I first watched this, because I didn't finish watching the show till today, which was like about 5 days later. So I don't remember the first part of it, and I didn't feel like going back and watching it. So basically, Cody Rhodes tries to have an epic 12-minute match of back and forth or whatnot with Matt Sydal, who's not a main event guy and not a big star and never really was, and whatnot. So they go back and forth and whatnot. Cody Rhodes wins the match with 2 crossroads. This match, like, I took some points off. I gave it a 1 out of 4. Besides the time limit of 12 minutes, I took points off because there was some no-selling, like, toward the second half of this match. Like, Cody Rhodes hits this huge, like, reverse suplex to Sydal off the top rope. And then, like, he goes up to the top rope to moonsault him, and Sydal just, like, stands up and is just out of the way. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, no-selling and shit. This was, like, a slower-paced no-selling match, but it was still, like, there wasn't, like, selling in it and shit. For some reason, I guess during the first part of the match, like, Cody Rhodes accidentally punched some jobber named Serpentico, this little, like, midget masked wrestler jobber or something. And Serpentico and Luther, who's like a 50-year-old hardcore wrestler guy from Japan that nobody knows who the fuck he is or whatever. These 2 guys come in the ring to attack Cody Rhodes after the match. I wrote why. Obviously, I just explained why, but still, why? And then Matt Sydal recovers and throws Luther out of the ring. Keep in mind, outside of the ring, like some of Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Family guys, like the Gun Club or like at ringside, none of them come into the ring to help him. So, what's the point of having a little stable little faction or whatnot when your partners aren't even fucking helping you? So, So yeah, Seidel like throws Luther out of the ring, and then Cody hits like something on Serpentico. I think he hits a powerbomb or a crossroads or something. So then Snoop Dogg comes into the ring and hits a terrible, terrible splash on Serpentico. Like, he hits the splash and like he like lands like on his feet, and then like you see his body like just like go down on Serpentico. It was terrible, man. Snoop, stay out of the ring, man. Stay out of the ring. I appreciate you like sick of WWE's rated G stuff and whatnot. You want to do something a little bit different and whatnot, but stay out of the ring, man. Yeah. This match was boring. Yeah, I gave it 1 out of 4. Next we have, oh god, this match was horrible. Alright, before we go into this, let's do something positive. It's time for the Babe of the Week. The Babe of the Week, she's a porn star, Lucy Zara. Absolutely gorgeous woman. Alright, so we're going to go into it. We got a thumbs up now, a smile on her face. Time to bring that down because next we got Abaddon versus Hikaru Shida for the women's title. Abaddon is garbage. Abaddon, like I said, she's like this like fat chunky wrestler that like, you know, said that Al Snow was bullying her and shit, even though like Al Snow was like probably just trying to like, you know, motivate her, tell her like it is, you know, teach her like the wrestling business stuff, and she just acts like an SJW and says that he's bullying her and shit. So this before the match starts off, and this match was terrible, so boring. Shida Abaddon comes out. Shida comes out, hits her with a kendo stick before the match even starts, and then Abaddon just sits up like the Undertaker. Jericho talks about how we've seen gimmicks like Abaddon for 30 years. So again, they're, you know, breaking that fourth wall or something. They're saying the word gimmick on a wrestling show. More terminology. So we're taking a quarter point off for that, mind you. Yeah. So, Abaddon, like, Shida gets on some offense, and then, they're, like, outside the ring, and usually, like, when Shida has an opponent's head, like, over the apron, Shida will come running and hit him with a knee to the head or something. So she goes for this, Abaddon blocks it, bites her leg. Yeah. Apparently, I guess on Dynamite a week or so ago or something like that, I guess like or in Dark maybe, I don't know what the fuck it was. Apparently Abaddon like bit her neck or something. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a vampire biting a neck or something or whatever the fuck it was, but so she does that to her leg in this, right? Does that to her leg, and then they go underneath the ring. Like, yeah, like Abaddon drags Shida like underneath the ring, and like the referee like goes underneath the ring too, and like you can see the ref's like legs out from underneath the ring for like, I seriously counted how long the wrestlers were, and then eventually the ref were outside the ring. 40 seconds. So this match should have already had like could have had 4 countouts with the time, with how long these guys were outside the ring. So another quarter point off this match for referee retardation. So they're outside the ring forever, and then apparently Abaddon bites Shida's neck again in that same spot because she's got some fake blood going on or something. They go back in the ring. Abaddon does like some kind of X Factor, then just hits some awful, terrible punches to like Shida's like stomach or something. Like she's like on her knees, on her knees, and Shida's like laying on her back, and she's right next to her, and just doing like these terrible punches to the stomach or whatnot. Then she hits some weird ass like face buster. Like, let's see if I can do this here. So like Shida's like I don't know, Shida's like on her knees, and then Abaddon like grabs her, and like Shida's like head's like right here where this leg is, and then she just like slams her like face first into the ground. Like, it was okay, I guess, but it's kind of a weird move. So what happens after that? She starts screaming at the ref. Yells at the ref for whatever reason. Shida then starts to somewhat make a comeback. She sends Abaddon outside the ropes. Then she like climbs up the middle rope, like in the ring, and then goes like outside, like sits on it like outside the ring to dive at Abaddon. And then like seriously, this took like 15 seconds. Abaddon is just there the whole time to catch her. Terrible, man. So, yeah. Then we have a superplex from Sheeta to Abaddon. Abaddon no-sells it and like tries to do a Bray Wyatt spider bridge thing or something, but she only does it for like 2 seconds and then she like doesn't keep it going. Not like how Bray could actually like bridge and then he can like keep walking while he's bridged and shit. Like that's when Bray Wyatt does that, it looks pretty fucking creepy and like and cool. You know what I'm saying? But Abaddon doing it, it just looked like shit. So, oh, and by the way, a superplex of no selling, taking another quarter point off. And let's see, Abaddon hits a clothesline for a 2 count, and then Sheeta hits a running knee to the face for a 3 count. So the match went was under 10 minutes, just barely. It was boring. I gave this a 1 out of 4 originally, but I'm giving this a 0 out of 4. 0 out of 4. Just because it was just absolute garbage. Fuck the time limit shit. It was a boring ass match. It was terrible. Next we've got Tay Conti backstage with Anna Jay and 2 Dork Order jobbers. Of course, one of them is John Silver. She talks about how she's like some kind of blue belt in jiu-jitsu and a black belt in judo or something. And then Anna Jay's like, yeah, and I'm going to be in your corner, and so is the Dark Order or something. And then you see John Silver with a goofy face on his face and whatnot. So apparently we still got to deal with Dork Order, even though Brody Lee's gone. So, yay. Half a point for Tay Conti and Anna Jay. That's all I'm giving it. If Silver and the other guy wasn't there, I might have been generous and gave it a point because I like the 2 ladies, but fuck the other Dork Order jobbers. Then we got our main event on the show. Aren't you guys loving this review? Isn't it great? Isn't AEW just wonderful? Yeah. As boring as my review probably is of this show, this is how bad the show was. It was fucking terrible. So, our main event of the show is Rey Fenix versus the world champion Kenny Omega, with the world title being on the line. This match went 20 minutes, and it was a piece of shit match. Let's see, I gave this overall match 1 out of 4. There was tons of no-selling. There was no psychology in this match. It was spot. There was, I don't even know. Oh, the time limit was definitely a big reason to take it off. Now, I'll be generous. This was more exciting than, like, the last match with Abaddon and Sheeta. But that's like saying that, like, chocolate, eating a piece of chocolate is more exciting than eating dirt. You know what I'm saying? Of course it is. It's actual food versus something that's not food. Yeah. So, unless you're into pica or something like that, I don't know. But there's really no nutrition with that. So, I don't know. Pica was something I learned when I had to take like a OB class or something, which is like birth of women birthing children or something when I was in nursing school. Yeah. Yeah. But not a fun class for a guy to take, I'm sorry. Anyway, so this match, like I said, I didn't write down everything that happened in this match, but here's some shit that annoyed me in this match. This was maybe toward the middle to the end of the match. So, Phoenix super kicks Omega, and then Omega no-sells the super kick, and then hits a V-trigger, and then Phoenix goes down, but leaps to his feet to super kick Omega, and then they fall down. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was toward the end of the match. Kenny Omega hits 3 more V triggers. After the third one, Omega picks up Phoenix to do the one-winged angel, but then Phoenix no-sells the 3 V triggers he just took, and then reverse head scissors Omega to the ground. Again, no selling and no psychology. Omega does a 4th V trigger. Does a 4th V trigger to Phoenix, like when Phoenix is like on the ramp, and then like Omega runs to him to hit the 4th one, and then the next thing we have is Phoenix running into the ring to do an RKO to Omega. So was it a nice athletic spot? Sure, but it was no selling, of course. So. Then Phoenix does Rikishi's like pile driver maneuver for a 2 count. I don't know if you remember Rikishi doing he used to do like this old like pile driver move where he'd he would spread his arms out and then just drop the guy like on his head. Yeah, Phoenix does that to Omega, only gets a 2 count. And then Omega does a I like how sorry about that. I like how my camera like ran out of time and was just like, dude, don't talk about this anymore. Now we got to finish the show. So Omega does a Tiger Driver 98 to Phoenix, and then hits another V trigger. So that's 5 V triggers in this match, 2 count. And then he hits the one-winged angel after another V trigger and gets the victory. So Omega retains the championship. Not a single FUCK was given. And then Jon Moxley hits the ring afterwards with a barbed wire baseball bat. He hits Omega in the gut one time. Why bash him in the head with it? And then the greatest thing since sliced bread, Gallows and Anderson come out from through the crowd, and they attack Moxley, and they're beating him up for a while. And then Omega bashes Moxley about eight times with the barbed wire baseball bat. I think about the 9th time he was going to bash him. Then Moxley decided to no-sell the beating and try to fight back. And then he got beat up again some more. And then a bunch of people in the crowd tried to come into the ring, like a bunch of the wrestlers. And then the Bullet Club is basic, because that's what this is. It's the Bullet Club. It's just a Bullet Club clique or whatever. They fight everybody off. I think Gallows put someone through a table. That was kind of cool. And then the Young Bucks come out, and what's his name? Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, or I think that's his name, that Jobber Tag Team or something. They were like trying to help Moxley, and then they were getting beat up, and then the Bucks super kicked both of those guys. And it's a Bullet Club reunion at the, with or a Bullet Club, the band is back together, or whatever the fuck it is, with Gallows and Anderson, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. So another epic group here in the company that we need to see or something, because they don't have enough groups with Inner Circle, and you got Inner Circle, Dork Order, Best Friends or a trio, Miro and Sabian are a tag team. The Nightmare Family, let's see, Death Triangle with Pac and the Lucha Brothers, and then you also got Eddie Kingston's little group with him and Butcher and Blade. So now you got these guys. So yeah, that was the show. They basically, something that was cool like 10 years ago, they decided to put on TV to make it even more epic. And like I said, this week's show got 662,000 viewers compared to like a few weeks back where they had 900-something thousand. Gee, I wonder why. Well, this show, I gotta find my calculator here. I tallied it up on my camera, was dead, but I didn't do like the final math part of it. I should hire QT Marshall because he's one half of the natural equations. He could do the math for me. But the show got a 6.6 out of 13. Got a 51%. So another fine F for the show. I'm actually surprised they actually got half of the stuff correct on this show. Well, I'm also a very generous man. So, 51%. Like I said, check out the Hager Wardlow match was alright. Wasn't great, but it was alright. I checked that match out. Moxley's promo was okay. Like, it wasn't like epic, but it was alright. That's pretty much all I would watch in this show. The rest of the show was garbage. So, anywho, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drink more grape juice for vitamin C to help you fight COVID. Like I did that, and I'm still alive. So, yeah. Be alive and keep kicking ass and all that good stuff. And maybe one day you too could be a champion like me. So, all right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Peace.